simple mathematics, of course, division. So you can divide. So this cancel out this guy here. So AY cancel out AY. So you're left with the same distance. The acceleration of X is twice that of Y. The ratio of the time taken by X to that taken by Y is, all right, so this is a very interesting problem, and is a word problem, basically. Word problem, and you just need to analyze it. So I'm going to analyze this one by one, and just let's see how we can go about that. All right, so solution. We can see the current says we have two particles, right? So we have particle X and we have particle Y here. All right. So it said they started from rest. So when a particle starts from rest, we automatically we know that the initial velocity, which is u, will be equal to 0. So the body started from rest. When the body starts from rest, the initial velocity is 0. So take note of that. So I can say u of x is equal to 0. And of course, u of y is equal to 0. All right. So now we move on. You say cover the same distance. Now, wait, so they cover the same distance. I mean, the distance for x is equal to the distance for y. Is equal to the distance for y. They cover the same distance. Now, we move on. It says the acceleration of x. So we have acceleration of x. Acceleration of x is twice that of y. So the acceleration of x is twice that of y. Now, the question says the ratio of the time taken by x to that taken by y. So the ratio, so that is tx ratio ty. So the ratio of the time taken by x to that taken by y is what? So that we're looking for. And don't forget, this is mathematics, right? Ratio. So tx ratio ty is the same thing as tx over ty. So this is what we are looking for. We're looking for tx over ty. So that is the main problem that we're going to solve. So let's start. Analyzing this one by one. So from what we have here, this is the main parameter we're going to use to solve this problem. So we know from motion formula, it says S is equal to ut plus half at squared. So we know that S is equal to ut plus half at squared. Now we're going to do the same thing for x and the same thing for y. So we can say that S of x is equal to u of x, t of x, plus 1 over 2 a of x, tx squared. And of course, you can do the same thing for y. That is sy is equal to uy ty plus half ay ty squared. So now, from what we have here, we're told we're told that they are both equal, that they cover the same distance. So meaning this is equal to this. So meaning I have u of x, t of x, plus half a of x, t of x squared. And of course, that'll be equal, all right? That'll be equal to this. That'll be uy ty plus half ay ty squared. Okay, so that makes sense, right? So they are both equal. And don't forget, from the question, we're told that u of x is equal to 0 and u of y is 0. So automatically this value here is equal to 0. So I can say that is 0 bracket tx, all right? Plus half ax. We're told that ax is twice that of ay. That is this guy here. So that is bracket 2ay. And of course, tx squared. Tx squared. And of course, that will be equal to 0 multiplied by ty. Okay? because your uy is also 0, plus 1 over 2 ay ty squared. Okay? Now, if you do this very well, is 0 multiplied by t is equal to t is equal to 0. So that goes up. So 2 cancel out 2 here. Okay? 2 cancel out 2 here. So what I'm left with from here is ay tx squared. So that's what I'm left with on the left hand side here. So aytx squared, and that will be equal to half of ay ty squared. All right. So from simple mathematics, of course, division. So you can divide. So this cancel out this guy here. So ay cancel out ay. So you're left with tx squared. Okay, and of course that'll be ty squared over 2, right? Ty squared divided by 2. Okay, makes sense, right? So that makes some sense. So we have tx squared is equal to 2y squared divided by 2. Now I can try to cross multiply. So if I do that, so if I cross multiply, if I cross, if I put on 1 here, it's still the same thing. If I cross multiply, that will be 2tx squared is equal to ty squared. Yeah, that makes sense, right? Yeah. So 2tx squared is equal to ty squared. Now, this is where the word gets, interesting. The word gets more interesting here because what the question says we should look for is tx over ty. And how do I go about this? If you are very, very good in mathematics, or with your math, you're very good with your mathematics, I think this will be very easy for you, right? So, so let me show you what to do. I can bring this guy, there is this ty under this guy here, and I can bring these 2 under this guy. So, meaning I can say tx squared over ty squared is equal to 1 over 2. Do you know that if I cross multiply, I'm still going to get back the same thing I have here? Yeah, that I said, if you are very good with your mathematics, this should be very interesting for you. So, because it's still the same thing. So if I cross, it's still going to give me the same thing. So you bring this guy under this, and you bring this guy under this guy. So, and don't forget, both of them, they have square. So I can say that will give me tx over ty all square, and that is equal to 1 over 2. Now, your math is also very important here. These indices here, So by the time you transfer these 2, this is square. By the time you transfer this square to the other side, it becomes the square root. All right. By the time you transfer this square to the other side, it becomes square because you need tx over ty, right? So if you transfer square to the other side, you have that. So I'm going to be having tx over ty, and that will be equal to the square root of 1 over 2. That is just indices. So you have tx over ty equal to equal to the square root of 1 over 2. Now let's try and look at the option if we have this in the option, because this is tx over ty, right? So let's try and look at the options. If you look at the options, you realize that we don't have anything that look like that. Yeah, there is nothing like that in the option. So you still have some few work to do, right? So we can move on by separating. So we can say, or tx over ty is equal. Now, according to SOLD, you can separate these two by saying the square root of 1 is 1. Yes. And the square root of 2 is square root of 2. All right. Yeah. So you see, I applied indices here and applied SOLD here. That I said, if you have to be very, very strong with your physics, your math is also very important. So your math is very, very important because while you're solving some problems, you might come across some things in mathematics that you have to use. So you can see now that your tx over ty is equal to 1 over root 2, and that is option C. And that gives the final solution to that problem. All right. So the other ways you can put the answer, if you rationalize this guy, you can say, if you rationalize this, you can say that tx over ty, because if you don't have this in the option, you can say by the time you rationalize that, that would give you the square root of 2 over 2, square root of 2 over 2. So this, do you know what? This guy here and this guy here, they're the same thing actually. They are the same. 1 over root 2 is the same thing as root 2 over 2. So I think with that, we can conclude that our final answer is option C. So 1 over root 2 or root 2 over 2. So I think with this, that gives us the final answer to be that. And I think that is just very easy. So I think, guys, we're going to have more problems maybe with time. Just check out for more videos on something like this, and you see how easy it is to solve this kind of problem. See you guys later. All right.